I believed walking away from my inheritance would finally bring peace to our broken family. My sister smiled for the first time in years as I signed every document placed in front of me. Minutes later, while she celebrated her victory, her lawyer called in absolute panic and shouted, "Do not let her sign anything." At that moment, I realized I had never been the one losing everything. If you enjoy emotional family stories with shocking twists and powerful karma, subscribe now because this story only gets more unbelievable from here. My name is Claire, and I was 36 when my father's death tore my family apart forever. My older sister had always believed she deserved everything because she had stayed close to our parents while I moved away for work. The day we gathered inside the attorney's office, everyone expected a fight over the inheritance. Instead, I shocked them by calmly agreeing to sign an inheritance waiver. My sister could barely hide her excitement, and even her husband whispered that everything had gone exactly as planned. For weeks before the meeting, my sister constantly reminded everyone that I had abandoned the family years earlier. She told relatives that I only returned because I wanted money. Every family dinner became another opportunity for her to embarrass me. Even though my father had privately thanked me for supporting him financially during difficult years, nobody knew the truth because he never wanted the family divided. I remained silent because I believed protecting his dignity mattered more than proving myself right. Inside the lawyer's office, the documents seemed ordinary. My sister kept urging everyone to hurry because she had already booked a luxury dinner to celebrate. I noticed the attorney reading every page much more carefully than she did, but she was too impatient to care. As soon as I finished signing my waiver, she proudly gathered her paperwork and rushed outside while laughing with her husband. They believed they had won the biggest victory of their lives. Only minutes later, her phone rang. At first, she smiled, assuming it was another congratulation. Then her face slowly lost all color. The lawyer was almost shouting through the phone. He repeatedly asked whether she had signed the final ownership transfer. When she answered no because she had gone to celebrate first, he urgently ordered her to return immediately and sign nothing until he arrived. Every person standing nearby suddenly stopped talking. Nobody understood why the celebration had instantly turned into complete panic. The lawyer returned carrying another sealed envelope that had been delivered only after my waiver became legally effective. My father had written detailed instructions that could only be opened if I voluntarily refused my inheritance without pressure. The letter explained that he had secretly transferred the family business into a protected trust years earlier because he feared greed would destroy everything after his death. Whoever respected family more than money would automatically become the controlling trustee. At first, my sister laughed because she thought the trust still belonged to her. Then the attorney calmly explained one sentence that completely changed everything. By willingly giving up my personal inheritance, I had satisfied the final condition required to become the only person authorized to manage the trust. The houses, investments, and business were no longer personal property. They belonged to the trust, and I alone controlled how every dollar would be used. The room became completely silent as my sister realized the documents she had been celebrating meant almost nothing anymore. If this story reminds you that greed never truly wins, take a second to like and share this video. Someone else may need this reminder today. My sister immediately accused everyone of tricking her. She demanded that the attorney reverse everything, but he quietly explained that every document had been reviewed by multiple legal experts years earlier. She even hired a private investigator, hoping to prove I had secretly manipulated our father. Weeks later, the investigator produced evidence that destroyed her accusations instead. Bank records, letters, and recorded instructions confirmed that our father had planned every detail himself because he wanted character, not greed, to determine his legacy. Believing public pressure would help, my sister began telling relatives that I had stolen the family fortune. Unfortunately for her, the attorney eventually shared our father's written explanation with close family members exactly as instructed. They learned how I had quietly paid hospital bills, repaired my parents' home, and refused repayment for years. Relatives who once believed my sister slowly turned away from her after discovering how many lies she had spread to protect her own image. The greatest surprise came a month later when my sister's fiancé canceled their engagement. He admitted he had fallen in love with the successful future she kept promising. But after discovering how much she had lied about the inheritance, he no longer trusted her. She begged him to stay, but trust, once broken, could not be repaired. Watching him leave, she finally understood that dishonesty costs far more than money. Months later, I fulfilled my father's final wish. Instead of keeping everything for myself, I expanded the family business, protected every employee, and created education funds for our younger relatives. Even my sister's children received financial support because they had done nothing wrong. One evening, my young nephew quietly asked why I still helped people who had hurt me so deeply. I smiled and told him the lesson my father wanted every generation to remember. Wealth reveals character, but forgiveness reveals strength. Karma does not always arrive with anger. Sometimes it arrives through truth, patience, and the quiet consequences people create for themselves. My sister thought the inheritance ended with one signature. She never imagined that the document she wanted me to sign would become the reason she lost everything she truly valued. My father did not reward greed. He rewarded integrity. In the end, karma never needed revenge because the truth was already enough.